Welcome to my Fresh Start series where I'll be attempting to make 1 billion GP from scratch in 6 months. If you would like to watch the previous episode or catch up on the whole series, the links can be found in the description below. In the previous episode, something unexpected happened. I managed to sell my armored crossbow for a staggering 90 mil and somehow managed to insta-buy the Bofa for the same price, subsequently leading to a shift in plans. So I gained the skill requirements and completed the Song of the Elves, and then proceeded to corrupt the Bofa because this item is going to be a key tool to me completing the 1 bill. And before we jump into today's video, a quick word from today's sponsor. Opera GX is a browser built by gamers for gamers, with tons of cool features like GX profiles, which allows you to create your very own browser for custom profiles. If you want to stream, you can set yourself a streaming profile so you no longer accidentally show off your private stuff. Or do you want to go rogue? If so, you can simply create a profile that clears all of your browsing data upon closing, for the kind of things you don't want your friends to find out about. Or maybe you're on the move a bunch, and in that case, Opera has you covered with GX Mobile. Opera GX also gives you the ability to fully customize your browser with animated wallpapers. Use hot tab killers to identify and close the most resource draining tabs, or stay up to date with the GX Corner and see all the best deals, newest releases all in one easily accessible place. This is a feature I personally love because I like staying up to date with future releases. This just covers a small portion of what Opera GX has to offer. It really is something that you just need to try out yourselves. And if you would like to try out Opera GX, you can do so for free on mobile or PC by clicking the first link down in my description below, or by scanning the QR code on screen. And as always, a big thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video. After getting all of the stats for the Song of the Elves, I ended up with a bunch of leftover Dragonhide bodies, which I could have alked, but I decided to sell them for time's sake and get back some of my money. And I also had just over 700 prayer potions that I made from the Herblore grinds that I may have forgotten about, so I put those on the Grand Exchange too. After corrupting the bow, I checked out the range XP rates. Previously, I invested in a ton of Mithril darts and Zora scales for the blowpipe, and I wanted to compare the XP per hour. At my range level, the blowpipe was getting me around 92,000 XP, whereas the Bofa was getting me nearly 86,000. So about 6,000 XP an hour difference, but the main difference being the cost. Because now the Bofa is corrupted, it effectively has unlimited uses and I never have to recharge it. And for the sake of 6,000 XP difference per hour, I'll definitely be using the Bofa to train my range from now on. I'm sure at this point you guys are very aware that I now have the corrupted Bofa. However, I currently am missing the full crystal armor, but I do have the armor seeds for it. And as you can see, I currently have 150 crystal shards left over, which means I'm 150 short, which shouldn't take too long because I'm guaranteed between 5 and 9 per completion. The Bofa's always been a crucial milestone in the plan. In fact, if I couldn't buy one, the plan was just to receive one from doing corrupted gauntlets, and I'm very relieved that I no longer have to. There are legitimate horror stories at this place where people have gone thousands of kills dry. And even if you get the enhanced seed on drop rate, which is a 1 in 400 from a corrupted, you're still looking at doing 5 to 6 completions per hour at max. And that's assuming that you don't fail a kill. The bottom line here, buying the Bofa and crystal armor shards has saved me hundreds of hours. And for that, I am very happy. Come on. There we go. First KC on the corrupted gauntlet. Let's have a look. What do we get? Oh, 9 crystal shards. That's so nice. The bow and the cape. Of course they go together. How cool does that look? Oh my god. 121k cash. Just pure cash. Getting flashbacks now of day 1. Trying to get 100k to go inside of the Rev Caves. That took me like 5 hours of stealing silk. Right, I've finished this kill, mate. Let me just loot.
But yeah, these have been too like, because I think I told you.
Oh, dude, I just got trolled so hard.
Nothing now.
I got a crystal weapon seed. It's like the worst. 21 corrupted gauntlets completed, and this should hopefully be enough. Bang on 300 crystal shards, which is exactly the amount that I need to go and make the armor. And it looks like I made around 4.3 mil from that. Gotta make sure I only make one of each of these. Yes, please. That is the helmet. That is the plate body. The crafting and smithing XP from this is really good. And there we go. We now have the full set of crystal armor. Oh, that looks so sick. While I'm here, I'm also gonna change the color of my bow. This should do the trick. I think it is time that we go and test this out, because I have never used full crystal and I have never used the bow before. God, we look good. And the prayer potions have sold. As you might be able to see from the gear setup that we have here, I am going to be going back to Sarah. There are a few reasons for this. Firstly, it was the last moneymaker that I did, and it was an incredible struggle, even with using the Chinchompas. So it'd be really nice to put the crystal armor and the Bofa to test for me to really feel how powerful this is. And secondly, there's also the chance of receiving some very expensive drops. Believe it or not, this is actually the very first time I've used the Bofa in PvM. And that's because the last time I did a rebuild was on Fat Checks, and back then the Song of the Elves and the Bofa weren't even a thing, which in part is why the Bofa's so good. Not only was it introduced partially as a makeup for the blowpipe nerf, but it also fills what was previously a void of options for a two-handed, accurate, high-hitting range weapon, similar to the Twisted Bow, but at a tenth of the cost. In my making one build starting as level 3 series, if I decided to come back and do Saradomin again, I would have been forced to use the Armadyl crossbow, which is a big upgrade from the rune crossbow, but still nowhere as effective as the Bofa and full crystal. This bow and armor set is such a huge spike in DPS for me, not only because of the increase in kills per hour, but because of the relatively less difficult kills too, and you can definitely feel the difference. Oh my god, that is insane! Actually busted. Holy. Okay. I think I'm gonna be in for a good time here. Oh my god. What the fuck? I've just got here. That is mental. The curse of the Saradomin hilt. Although I'm not complaining, I will take it. One of the most satisfying things about this is the first time I've used the Bofa with the crystal armor, and obviously you need to recharge your crystal armor. That hilt right there easily covers the cost to repairs 3 or 4 times over. 4 hilts in 416 KC. I've only had one Saradomin sword. Hello, hello. It says 500k. Free money. Let's go. Just been invited to go and do Fritter of Blood, and I have been saying no to these guys for so long now because I've been so busy getting myself the Bofa and full crystal. Finally, I am no longer busy and I have no excuse. Hopefully we can get a purple. And if any of you guys are wondering, I collated the Dragon Warhammer for a few of my items. The very first TOB completion, 0 deaths. It's actually pretty good. No way we got a purple. No way we got a purple on the first KC. Let's go! 810k Vial Blood. That's a lot of coal. A Verdict Defender hilt. Let's go. That's good. That is good. That's 125 to 150 mil for a Star Worlds. Jesus. A very well-deserved Avernic Defender on the 1KC. The last Avernic Defender hilt that sold went for 75 mil. A month ago. 22 minutes. We're doing pretty well. Let's see. The back-to-back? No way. The back-to-back, the exact same chest. It's the same person. What is going on? Another Avernic Defender hilt. Let's go. That's definitely not a bad thing. 2 Defender hilts back-to-back. We're off to a good start. The back-to-back-to-back. Okay, back to reality. We had a good stint, though. We're done with TOB. We got 2 purples and 3 KC. I'm going to consider that a win for the day. This is also a win. We managed to sell all of our gold bars for 3.5 mil. What is that? This right here is the very first Avernic Defender hilt we got, which sold for 125 mil on the Grand Exchange for a very nice 31 mil split. Second Avernic Defender hilt is sold, and that is another 32.5 million GP. Thank you. Thank you. So I ended up making 63 mil from the 2 Avernic hilts. And because I had an offer in the Grand Exchange, we are actually back to over 100 mil cash, which means that the bank is actually 474 mil right now. At this point in time, I'm pretty happy with almost everything that I have here. For everything that I'm currently doing in game, I have all of the gear that I will need for it. So I'm not going to be making any huge upgrades or purchases right now because I'm not actually doing anything other than Saradomin in the occasional raid. But what I would like to pick up is the Vigora's Chain Mace, which will become clear soon. as to why. So at this point in time, I was informed about a new method of killing Saradomin that you can do without using any staminas. If any of you are interested, I will link the guide in my description that I used to learn this. It's a very creative way of killing the boss and taking no damage while also not needing staminas, but unfortunately, because my defense level is only level 78, I was getting absolutely destroyed by the ranger. But I imagine if you have higher defense, this would be a pretty chill way of killing the boss. That is our second Saradomin sword in almost 500 KC. Ancient Mitre, Tormented Bracelet, and the Master Wand have both. I haven't said what this is for, but all will become clear soon. And after that, I decided it was time to go get myself the Frozen Key and unlock access to Nex. And I did end up doing a couple kills at Nex with the Bofa and Full Crystal just to see how it would go. And I definitely will be returning here at a later point in the series. I would really like to get or at least see an item from Nex. Saradomin Hilt has sold for 24 million. Saradomin Sword sold for 2.6 mil, a little bit less than the 6 mil I had it in for originally. And seeing as how you guys are here, I have recently been purchasing myself some runes. I'm most likely going to go ahead and purchase a whole bunch more of these because soon I will be training my magic. I just checked my crystal armor helmet and I have about 1,000 or less uses on this crystal armor set. And I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to have a look on the website and see what these seeds are going for right now. Because if I buy a crystal armor seed, it basically fixes the whole lot. This was the day I uploaded my last video, December the 22nd. And then the very next day, they're basically 10 mil a shard. One sold for 15 mil. And they're currently selling for 12 mil. I picked up all 6 of my crystal armor seeds for around about 4 mil per piece on average. Some of them bought for as low as 3 mil. I've just logged in for the day and I can see a very special item has purchased, the Vagora's Chain Mace. And you guys are going to find out why I've bought this in a upcoming video. I'm sorry I keep doing that, but it's going to make sense. Another Saradomin hilt. I think that's the 5th one. How have we had so many hilts? I'm officially the Fresh Start World supplier of Saradomin God Swords. It is me. Apparently they're selling for like 25 mil right now, so you know, we'll take it. Not too bad. I did do one more trip at Sarah after this to use up my last ecumenical key, but I didn't manage to receive anything of value. I ended up doing a total of 243 Saradomin kills with a Bofa, and it really was night and day versus using the rune crossbow. So we ended with a total of 637 kills, and I honestly don't think I could have got any more lucky. And we now have our occult necklace. I think I had this in there for 12 mil. I'll go and check real quick. 13 mil for the occult necklace. It's mad to think this on the main game, maybe 500k, but I have many uses for it. And the plan is to use it along with all of the other gear I've picked up to get myself to level 94 magic, meaning that I will have unlocked Ice Barrage, making the likes of the Inferno and the Tombs of Damascus a breeze. No pun intended. Because the price of the crystal armor shards are so expensive and my crystal armor is very close to being out of charges, I've just purchased myself an enhanced teleport crystal that I'm going to break down. Also going to buy a second one here if it buys. There we go. We now have 2 enhanced teleport crystals, which break down into 150 crystal shards each. A little bit more expensive than what it was previously, but hey, sacrifices had to be made. For the very first time, our bank is over halfway to our goal, 527 mil, with about 400 mil in the armor tab. 3 months and 15 days remaining. We have 26 days and 13 hours played. I think that's gonna be plenty of time for us to achieve the goal of making 1 bill. And the hardest part's done now because we've built the account, we have the stats, we have the gear, and all we need to do now is finish off the rest. A big thank you to all of my channel members here on YouTube. If you would like to become a massive legend and join these other legends by supporting me and my content, then you can do so by clicking the join button and become a channel member starting as low as 99 pence. This supports me directly and you will receive a custom subscription badge which upgrades the longer you've been a member. Thank you to all of you who have become members and welcome to all who are new.